we pay our regards to all of them. Well, the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, "No man steps into the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." His statement is pregnant with profound philosophical truths. And with every passing day, our outlook and attitude undergo imperceptible changes, till someday we suddenly wake up to discover that all our yesterdays have become obsolete, if not irrelevant. When I wrote my first book on public relations in early 1989, some of the historic events of our time were yet to happen. Momentous milestones of modern history, like the fall of the Soviet Russia, or fall of the Berlin Wall, World Wide Web turning the world into a global village, and the liberalization of the Indian economy. All these things were, in 1989, still in the wombs of the future. The period also saw the advent of the Generation Z, also called digital natives. They have little memory of the world as it existed before the advent of the smartphones. And it's a generation with radical views, vocabularies, and values. These sweeping changes transformed public relations into a vastly different practice in course of only 30 years, or as we knew it to be. And much of what I had written 30 years ago is now out of sync with the realities of today's public relations. Some of the topics: social media, social marketing, corporate social responsibility, theories and models of public relations, sponsorship, and event management, all included in this book, virtually came into being only in course of the 21st century. From this point of view, the book, The New Age Public Relations, is an outcome of my modest attempt to bridge the gaps between the two centuries, 20th and the 21st. Well, I am aware of my own limitations to perform this difficult task. But then, it is well known how fools often rush in where angels fear to tread. Detractors describe public relations as one of the most diffused, confused, and refused tools of management. Yet, public relations remain indispensable to a modern democratic society. It plays a mediated role in bridging the gulf between we, the decision makers in the government, in management, and they, the millions of people in the farms, in the fields, and in the factories. Public relations intends to strike a harmony, a balance between the power and the people, building a relationship of trust and transparency between a public organization and society, to take the fog out of public relations. Before I conclude, I would like to acknowledge my indebtedness to some of the giants in the profession, past, They have taught me all the things. They are, to name but a few, Radha Prasad Gupta, Shanad Lahiri, Jolly Mohan Kaul, Shamar Basu, Aditi Sham, and Monisha Kabul. If in my time I have been able to see further, it is only standing on the shoulders of these giants, these titans. Thank you.
Most respected Sri Jawhar Sorkar, Honorable Member of Parliament Rajya Sabha and former CEO of Prasar Bharati and former Secretary to Government of India in the Ministry of Culture and in Government of West Bengal Department of Higher Education, among many other assignments he served. Most respected Professor Mrinal Chatterjee, Dilip, who is the Regional Director of Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Antara, and UKC Professor Ujjwal Chowdhury, the present consultant and advisor at Daffodil University, and he has headed various institutions of mass communication. If I start naming them, I'll finish up 1 hour, so I'll not do that. And Mr. Subir Ghosh, our very senior mentor, and the person whom you can look up to for any clearance of any doubt or any new thing in the field of communications, and Mr. Debojyoti, the publisher of Sahitya Samsad and Shishu Sahitya Samsad. The esteemed members of the audience here, my senior personalities of public relations, journalism and other social sphere. It is a great honor and privilege that such a book release function is taking place in Press Club, Kolkata. Today is not a very ideal day for holding any program because we have some other bigger program with more number of people, which is more of a social or religious, whatever you can say. And we need to stick to time to facilitate the other program, which is absolutely timed, and this place will be required. I wanted to say so many things on Shubirda, so many things on public relations, so many things on the book. Unfortunately, I don't have much time, but I'll just take 3 minutes. I don't know why do I sit here. Either I happen to be the president of Press Club Kolkata, but that does not mean that you be in the head table of every program which takes place in Press Club Kolkata. But this is the generosity of the organizers. Yes, I have some connections with public relations because public relations was my first love when I started public relations in the evening, along with my studies and masters in journalism in Calcutta University. I wanted to join in the field of public relations, but for the average Bengali youth, the first love does not mature, and it happened with me, and I got a job in journalism and never got an opportunity to practice public relations. But only one thing I realized, and I realized from my inside heart, that it is easier to practice journalism because it depends on you, that you give more importance, you give more time, you give more effort, you come out with a better story. But for the practice of public relations, it is dependent on many other external factors. You give your best, you could do a greatest press release, you could do a best campaign, but for some reasons or other, the media, like the journalist or the outdoor media, or for some reasons, it does not fetch you the result which is warranted. So you have to put extra effort to get the basic minimum results. I should not say and praise public relations in front of so many here on this side and on the other side also, who have spent more than 4 decades in the field of public relations. Yes, we were also associated from the other side and from the inside also to a great extent. This profession, like any other profession related to communication, has changed a lot, job-wise and the deliverables-wise. Hardly you will find a public relations officer in any of the organizations. Everything is outsourced. This is the new style. And the content of press release, the delivery of press release, the style of press release, and the conducted press party tour and the campaign has also changed to one-on-one and to lobbying and to various other things, and subjects like strategic planning, corporate communications, corporate social responsibility have come into the profession itself. So it has seen a vast change, and this book is a testimony of the vast change, the principles, the theories, the practices, and the newer nuances. And I believe several names have been made of public relations. Many of them I had also been fortunate to be a student of, but I have seen them how to practice. I have seen my seniors here and there how to practice public relations. Public relations should be learned from the practice, and it is tried on an every day like other fields of journalism, but there should be an understanding, there should be a saying of what public relations can do and what public relations cannot do. This is a very vulnerable terminology, public relations. Often it is misunderstood, and it is understood that this can do so many things. No, it cannot. 90% doing things, 10% saying about it, but this 10% is equally important. The icing of the cake is not what people like most. The presentation, it has to reach public, and the public relations are now gone into government, semi-government organizations, local self-government, NGOs, because of importance of earning the confidence of people for whom the organization is doing. So these challenges, everywhere, every profession has to have some theoretical base and some good textbooks to follow, and I think this will help the practitioners of public relations who faces greater challenges, as I understand. I'm grateful that I'm somehow or other associated with this book, and I have been asked to say a couple of words. Thank you very much. I wish this book all success. But two things. I must compliment the author, Sri Subir Ghosh, for his meticulous effort in doing and brushing up. It took a lot of time. And I also admit that a publisher like Sahitya Samsad, who still does books on Tagore, which nobody else does, which still does books on Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar on his bicentenary, the entire volume is reprinted, which is edited by the Vidyasagar University. So I am a regular visitor of their stall and their bookstore shop, and yes, still there are good publishers for which the good books are made here. I also thank Sri Jawhar, Sorkar, Mr. Mrinal, Chatterjee, and Professor UKC on behalf of the Press Club and on my personal behalf. Thank you very much.
Chowdhury, after the death of my mother, Chowdhury, only some year and a half ago due to COVID. Okay, I was in Cambodia till last night. 3-4 days ago, Subir Babu wrote on Messenger, "Are you on 10th in city?" Because he knows that by a food, so I will not be there. I said, yes, I'm there. Like, please come, this is the occasion, please come. And we have a very interesting relationship in a way. Subir Babu and me, we know each other for more than 10 years, but this is the first time we are meeting. But we have been interacting constantly. And it's a very good case study of internet-driven or digital-driven relationship, if you can tell that way. I also like the program today. The program is begun, closed, anchored by ladies, 2 ladies, and the head table has only males. You know, I would have normally said not to have a panel of men, that becomes a manel and not panel. But the beautiful part of it, there is welcome by a lady and anchored by another lady. So moving ahead, very interesting also to be here today, because I really wanted to meet Subir Babu, Chachokku, because we have been on his distance, and once again meet a very great friend, Snehasis, with whom I have been quite some few days together in Madhya Pradesh, had shared a lot of things, and wanted to meet Professor Mrinal Chatterjee, after he becomes the third or fourth time doctorate, DSc, now DSc, latest one is DSc. That's one. I wanted to meet sir from the publication, because in times of Kindle and digital publishing, how are the publishers doing? I really want to know that. In Bangla, in India, in Kolkata. And surely, Jawhar Babu, I remember his powerful talk in Hotel Hindustan and Park Hotel twice in programs organized by my institute, Snehasis from Media and Communication, when he came as a chief guest there. Powerful talks, and we keep seeing him in social media and content. So really, this is a good moment to be here. I was going through the content. I'm really impressed. 24 chapters are here. 24 chapters that looks at from definition what to why to how and all aspects of how in many ways. So really a very detailed work. I'm sure going to have a copy of it for sure. And indeed, I really liked when Subir Babu was speaking reference to some of the doyens. At least three of them I know very well, Jolly Call, Adit Shah and writer Sorkar. Three have been mentioned also. It's a very good occasion, very good moment to remember some of the doyens of communication in this city. By the way, this city has a great contribution. We do not always document the contribution of Calcutta in the field of communication. If there was a possibility of a second, or if there is a possibility in future to come out with a second, or rather, I really appreciate this book was already published earlier. 4 decades or 3 decades later, you have republished with new content, right? Total new content. So, again, rightly or wrongly, by the latest new initiative, which is much bigger than internet, and that's artificial intelligence and metaverse. That's another word. I leave it for another occasion. Thank you very much for your time.
Present here today, as I request respected Shri Jawhar Sorkar to release the book New Age Public Relations, authored by Shri Subir Ghosh.
जाओ देखते फर्स्ट दादा একটু স্ট্রেট একটু বসুন সামনে দাদা একটু বসুন না
College and Calcutta University, Shri Sorkar has also attended courses on developmental strategies and public administration at universities of Sussex and University of Cambridge. He has spent more than 4 decades in public service in both the government of West Bengal and government of India in the fields of education, culture and media, and has been the Chief Executive Officer of Prasar Bharati. Elected to the Rajya Sabha in August 2021, Shri Jawhar Sorkar is a member of Parliament representing the state of West Bengal. Now, over to Shri Jawhar Sorkar.
They were bothered about how I get in and get out. I know this room so well, every inch of it in very pleasant evenings. First of all, I must congratulate you, the audience, for coming over to this function. The heat is indeed depending, and this is not the best time of the year. Let me start by first complimenting Debojyoti, the author the publisher who gets this out. Now, I had absolutely no idea that he made good English books. This is the first time I'm fixated on the idea that he publishes very highly literate, obfuscating books in Bangla, which one needs a very serious bent of mind to read properly. Congratulations, it's an excellent publication. Excellent publication. My congratulations also to the author, Subir Ghosh, who's been a very well-known figure. My classmate Subhash Mukherjee told me that he is doyen of the profession. As a bolta hobe na. Now, this is a profession with which I came into accidental contact and must have picked up some genetic qualities somewhere. You see, I don't believe in guruvad at all. So there are people who look and swoon at the sight of a guru and all that, just doesn't come to me from within. So there is no one I can call a guru. And I've made a conscious decision not to call anyone. But the nearest that I can find of a person who has been a guide, miles away from religion, of course, is Shatul Gupta. Shatul Babu nurtured me at a time when I thought I knew everything, and he coached me through certain phases of life that were absolutely essential, and I've written about it again and again. Jaki Guru bolte pari. Shatul Babu or R.P. Gupta remains a legendary person, and that brings me to the subject of Mr. Subir Ghosh's book, that one of the absolute essentials perhaps is the image of the person. I am not saying that everyone has to be a Shatul Gupta or Aditi Sham or Jolly Call. Certainly not. But the image of a person in her or his own right is an essential pillar of the veracity of what he is saying. This applies to many professions, but applies very visibly to public relations. That Mr. Gupta, R.P. Gupta was a legendary scholar in so many respects, is something that people came to know later. But where Datta was concerned, hardly anyone wrote or read Bangla, and he preferred to write in Bangla. So they were more impressed at his outer of what he would be able to communicate, and much of what he would be able to communicate is because he had a prolific sense of knowledge. When you have a huge library, you can just extend your arm and draw something. So a knowledge base, be a personality despite, as he would say himself, the ugliest of looks that God could give a man. He was very proud of saying, so, and more consistently is the fact that the person held a high esteem in the client. Tatas were given the first major public relations standing in Kolkata, which has a very antipathetic relation with any enterprise, by people like him. Then Jolly Mohan Kaul, another person who has been a mentor for many. Aditi Sham, whose marriage I attended in a plot at the crossing of Chowdhury and Theatre Road. It was an empty plot on those days in 1959 or 60, and I had more than 2 cups of ice cream. I remember that because it was given in steel. Aditi Sham became a Didi in every sense of the term and went on, and Mr. H.K. Dua also treats me as a younger brother. Now, this is a matter of luck, as I said. But what attracted me to this profession was its commitment in communication. As Mr. Ghosh said, professions where people thought they knew everything. Most of it in the corporates more than the corporates, the Gaddis. The Gaddis had absolutely no requirement of it. And Calcutta, as you know, was led by Gaddis. I keep wondering at Munishwaran Mukherjee how he puts up with a corporatized Gaddi. Yeah, I mean, I tell it to them as well. I think I've described it correctly. Sita Sanjeev and Harsh are both very close friends. But the fact remains a Gaddi is a Gaddi. So, and the Gaddi feels that there is no relation for, no scope for public relations communication. He has spoken, Mr. Ghosh has written very elaborately, illustrated equally elaborately, and given small examples that even people like us would be able to understand. It's a highly readable book in an age when people shudder to look at a book. Now, this is the quality of the author and the publisher put together, but I speak for two more domains of public, and the three actually. Snehasis, of course, I treat as the younger brother, but Snehasis is also. And the best thing that could happen is he resigned or retired from Doordarshan. Because Doordarshan itself has retired from life long ago, and he's on pension like me. There is one certificate that it requires, but the doctor is just not giving it. Anyway, so that's the best thing that could happen, because he has a natural flair for understanding, bridging people. The job of public administration is basically to bridge, to find a quality that neither side has been able to discover, and to get across that quality over the heads of other prejudices. See, when two people communicate, there is a wall of prejudice that comes up, that I know everything about you, I don't need to know anything more. And that is where this relationship comes in. Mr. Ghosh has a story of CMD or KMD and its typical top-down approach. Now, top-down is something that I had to get used to very early, at 23 in my life, when I found that having entered into the service after a considerable experience in hanging from buses like bats. If somebody has not hung out from a bus like a bat or some sort of a crab, he is not human. In fact, I keep saying, I look at the present buses and empty buses and I wonder what happened to. Well, that is the struggle of life. So anyway, having come in from there, I come across a breed of humans who think they are infinitely superior. In this present world, like all present world which became vast worlds, there is a feeling that times are changing against us. Now I have entered my seventh decade, 70s plus 71. So this was an idea that was given to us when we were in 30s. 20s and 30s and 40s, that times are changing against the book or the course, and teach it to those who will practice for the future. So the past, present and future will never be able to meet. There is a certain amount of obsolescence that is built into it. But having said that, the speed at which communications have changed have baffled everyone. There is no one, I mean, my wife has a word for me,